All right, gentlemen, we got a video. Disney's self-inflicted boy trouble. So Disney, of course, in recent years, they've been pretty much just making things entirely for an audience that they don't have. Like, everything now is some kind of a girl boss. So let's see what the Critical Drinker says. Usually, guys, the Critical Drinker is kind of based, I'm going to be honest. But let's see if he still maintains.
Every once in a while, I'll stumble on a news article so brain-meltingly, soul-crushingly stupid that the only socially acceptable response is...
Yeah, that's about right.
Such was the case yesterday with this absolute corker from Variety, that always reliable bastion of respectable, impartial journalism.
I know who that is.
Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles.
You had my curiosity.
Guys,
But now
I'm speaking as Gen Z, right? I'm 23, if you can't tell. And the way that you win back a 23-year-old, it's simple. It's fucking simple. You make a product for 23-year-olds, right? Like, I know Lord of the Rings. I love it. It's fucking amazing. But look what's happened to it. You got the Rings of Power, and that's just like a fucking girl boss. And who's, what's the word? She's the Mary Sue, right? She's a girl boss, and she's a Mary Sue. And then you've got right, and then you've got Tales of the Shire, which is some fucking pathetic, gay, just lame shit, right? And these two things are not appealing to fans of Lord of the Rings, and it's not appealing to young guys either. So, like, and I know this isn't Disney, but it's still on the same trend that these also tend to follow. They keep making shit for an audience they don't fucking have. Like, there was a thing, I think it could have been Disney, I'm not sure, where a cow, I'm non-binary, and my pronouns are they, them. A fucking cow in a kid's show. So it's like, they're supposed to be appealing to kids and young people, but they keep incorporating things that we don't want. Like, if you want to grab the attention of me, you need to make something for me. What do guys want? Well, guys want things like Guts or Space Marines, Doomslayer, etc., right? And because it's Disney, these are things they don't do. But they have done things in the past which were appealing to me. Example, Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm sorry, that is arguably the best thing they have ever made. I love it. I've always enjoyed Pirates of the Caribbean, and I like Captain Jack Sparrow as well. He's funny, and like it pirates. Like, we like pirates. Make Pirates of the Caribbean. Stop making this pathetic gay shit, because nobody fucking wants it.
you have my attention.
Leadership at Walt Disney Studios has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months, multiple sources tell Variety, for movies that will bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way.
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
Oh, really? Tell me, why would you have to do something like that? I mean, you've spent years telling us that men are... You've spent years telling us to do something like that.
Great example. Great fucking example right there. They bring in some fucking girl who hates men. She hates the traditional men. She hates the man saves woman, knight saves princess. Her thing, her thinking is women are actually independent and strong and self reliant, and we don't need men. Men are worthless, right? So, and then the show comes out, and nobody fucking watches it. What a surprise! And by the way, guys like hot girls as well. She's not like ugly, but Snow White is supposed to be like the really hot one, who the witch is supposed to envy. I'm sorry, in what world is she a lot more attractive than Gal Gadot? In what fucking world? Most guys see her and they see Gal Gadot and are thinking, I think the other one's hotter. So why would she be the hot one in the show? It's weird. Like, it's so weird to me. It's like...
I mean, you've spent years telling us that men are irrelevant now, that
Yeah,
nobody
exactly.
needs or wants those mean, stinky boys polluting culture with their toxic masculinity, that male and pale is stale, that the future is female. Why do you care about attracting men to your brand all of a sudden?
There it is. Yeah.
Fuck.
And therein lies the rub, dear viewer. You might utterly despise men and everything
Guys.
they represent, or you might utterly despise men.
And he is the perfect example as well. Like, everyone who enjoys the Witcher franchise, we were skeptical about Cavill playing Geralt, but he did it really fucking well, and he kind of became the icon to Geralt. But then the studio and the people controlling the studio, they completely ignored this guy. And in season 2, they started to push him to a side character, and they brought forward Cyrilla and Yennefer as the protagonists. Bro, when we watch The Witcher, we watch for Geralt. That's the whole fucking premise. It's Geralt. We don't want to see a fucking feminist. No one wants to see this shit. But they did it anyway. And then to absolutely nobody's surprise, this show died after, pretty much after season 1. Like, season 2 was a catastrophic. I think season 3, and I didn't watch it, was dead. Completely dead. All because they decided to go down this route of women are priority, men, who cares? Bro, The Witcher's for men. The Witcher is made for guys. If you make it for guys, you need to make it for guys. Guys want to see Geralt, not a feminist. Come on. It's not hard.
Fuck.
And therein lies the rub, dear viewer. You might utterly despise men and everything they represent, but when it comes to that increasingly uncomfortable meeting with the accountants every few months, well, it turns out that you kind of need them. Especially young men, who seem to be quite a powerful demographic these days.
What a surprise.
Let's see what else this stunning and brave article has to say, shall we? Numerous studies show that Gen Z men in particular are a lonely, gaming-obsessed group who were hampered in their formative years by COVID-19 lockdowns.
So?
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there before this...
Guys, it's so strange, isn't it, how if you're a gamer, you're seen as like this fucking worthless, pathetic, just freak. It's like, yeah, to an extent, sure. But if you tell us that, that's not going to help you sell your product, is it?
Journalistic retardation goes any further. Let's be clear about one thing.
She-Hulk,
Young men were
God.
not hampered in their formative years by the lockdowns, or the patriarchy, or global warming, or social injustice, or any of the other bullshit excuses you're gonna try to throw in to obfuscate the truth. They were hampered by an entertainment media complex that spent most of the past decade systematically trying to obliterate them from modern culture. They've been berated, insulted, deconstructed, exploited, mocked, lectured, misrepresented,
There we go.
gaslit into believing their every natural instinct was wrong and evil, and simultaneously labelled as useless and irrelevant, but also somehow the cause of every negative thing that ever happens in the world, depending on which explanation is most expedient.
I'm so fucking tired. I thought I just needed a night's sleep, but it's more than that.
And every single time they've dared to defend themselves or push back in this completely one-sided war, they've been dismissed as sexist, misogynistic idiots and bullied or attacked into silence. Is it really that much of a surprise that after all of this, after realising the
Guys, the other thing as well is it's not entirely just about putting down men. It's also the people who tend to write the stories. They don't have a clue what the fuck they're doing, like, period. And a great example is Star Wars. The old Star Wars was clearly for guys, right? Like, it was guys fighting using fucking space swords, right? It was for guys. But then you go forward to the ones now, they take like horses to the fucking space station, and they have cavalry charges in space. Like, it's fucking dumb. It's dumb. Who wants to watch this shit? Oh, that's right, nobody, because nobody watches Star Wars anymore. Like, I think a part of it is putting down men and trying to attract an audience that that this product clearly isn't intended to be made for. But it's just pure incompetency, period. It's so weird.
is so hopelessly stacked against them that not only can they never be allowed to win, but they'll be actively punished for even trying in the first place. They finally decided, fuck it, I'm just not playing anymore. And they hit back with the most powerful weapon left in their arsenal: their wallets. If companies like Disney decide to use their platform to beat young men over the head with the message that everything male is inherently bad, then I guess young men just won't watch their stuff anymore. It's not exactly rocket science, but holy fuck, this article and others like it will explore every possible explanation except the simplest and most obvious one. And I think we know why. It actually kind of reminds me of all those articles cropping up on
Men,
feminist
where have you
websites
gone?
these
Please
days
come
decrying
back.
the lack of male attention after those very same sites spent years
Just
complaining
leave
about
women
men being
alone.
too forward, too assertive, too interested, too creepy, and gosh darn it, why can't they just leave us all alone? Gee, I wonder why they're not interested in dating anymore. It's a total mystery to me too, ladies. The irony is that Disney already had access to some of the biggest and most successful male-focused brands in history.
Yep.
And yes, both Star Wars and Marvel were decidedly male brands.
But yeah, of
That
course
doesn't
it
mean the
is.
ladies couldn't enjoy them too, and many did in fact.
Yeah, guys, there's this strange thing where you have a product that is clearly intended for guys, and then like a small percentage of girls enjoy the same thing, and now somehow this product is intended for girls. No, they are outliers. But the girls who enjoy these things, they enjoy the things that men tend to enjoy, right? So if you try to cater towards girls now because of this small percentage of girls, then you're not going to attract those girls anymore, because those girls like the things which guys like, which is why that they were watching it in the first place. So it's like they're turning away guys, and they're turning away the small percentage of girls, all for the sake of trying to bring in a larger audience of women. Like, it's catastrophe after catastrophe based solely off of fucking incompetence. It's so weird. It's like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's actually embarrassing. Like, Star Wars is for guys. It's guys in space fighting. It's for guys. Marvel is for guys. It's superheroes. Guys want to be superheroes. Like, guys want to be Batman. Guys want to be Captain fucking whatever his name is, I forgot. Guys want to be Iron Man. Guys do not want to be She-Hulk? Who the fuck wants to be She-Hulk? I tell you who. Nobody. But they do it anyway.
But if I had to choose a gender most likely to gravitate towards a franchise about space battles, adventure, ships and technology, heroism and epic struggles for the fate of the universe, yeah, it's gonna be men. And that right there is perfectly okay. Men are allowed to have stuff that they like, and a lot of the time, that stuff is going to be quite different from what women like. The problem is that only one side is ever expected to compromise and make concessions to accommodate the other, and I'll give you a little hint here. It's not women. Like, could you imagine for 1 second if they did a reboot of Sex and the City? Sorry, wait, another reboot. Only this time half the female characters were gender swapped, the glamour and sophistication of the New York social scene was replaced with muscle cars and guns and girls in bikinis, and every episode had to include some tedious subtext about how difficult modern life is for men to navigate. I don't think it would go down very well. But there seems to be this weird cultural taboo around the idea of male-focused anything now, like catering specifically to men as a demographic is some moral crime that has to be addressed and corrected, instead of a smart and logical business decision from a company that should be all about giving the customer what they want. In the case of those male-oriented franchise that used to be a license to print money because they used to understand their customers, the problem wasn't just the clunky attempts to court a female audience with a sudden influx of pandering, poorly written girl bosses who could magically do anything and were always right about everything.
Yeah, and the same thing is also in games now as well. Like, I'm sorry, if you're creating a game in feudal Japan, like, and they're fighting with like swords and spears and fucking, you know, and guns, etc., that's for guys. Like, most girls don't say, oh wow, that looks amazing, I can't wait to play that game. No. Girls tend to play games like fucking ISO and fucking, I don't know, fucking Animal Crossing or something, right? Guys play games like Ghost of Tsushima and God of War. Like, Kratos is for guys, okay? He's clearly for guys. Every guy wants to be Kratos. What girl wants to be Kratos? Fucking none of them. It's so weird.
Even women hated that shit because they were more than smart enough to see right through it.
Yeah,
no,
it's dumb.
The bigger problem was the active sabotage, marginalization, destruction, and outright pussification of the male characters to make way for them. I've been over this kind of thing a million times before, so I'm not going to bore you with all the examples like Han, Luke, Indiana Jones, Thor, Kylo Ren, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Nick Fury, and about 100 others I could name. The list of cultural assassinations is frankly mind-boggling at this point. The point, though, is that instead of becoming more accessible to women, these franchises instead became increasingly hostile towards men, especially young and impressionable men who could really use some positive role models to aspire to. Instead, they found themselves getting lectured, berated, and disrespected by a studio that seemed...
Guys, so because of all this happening, we have gotten to a point now where the guys that young guys tend to look up to are people like fucking Charlie Kirk, Myron Gaines, and Andrew Tate, etc. Right? I'm sorry, like, these guys occasionally have something good to say, but overall, it's like they're just not a good role model. Like, so it's like these people intentionally hate on men, and then here comes the extremist men to say, actually, no, you should do this instead. And then young guys have to choose, be hated by everybody, or choose to idolize Andrew Tate. Most guys are going to choose Andrew Tate because he's got boats, a big house, a bunch of cars, and like 20 girlfriends. That is way more appealing than fucking some obnoxious Mary Sue feminist on the internet telling you that she hates all men. Like, Of course they're going to choose Andrew Tate. But overall, he's not a good role model. But I would rather choose him over fucking, those women. Or those people in general.
To actively hate them. And that's the funny thing about young men, you see. They can and often do put up with a lot of shit in their daily lives, but the one thing they won't put up with is disrespect. Especially from a fucking company that wants them to part with their hard-earned money for their privilege. Add all these factors together and you get a conclusion so simple and obvious that I can't believe I'm even having to say it, but here we are. When you decide to treat half your audience as the enemy, that's exactly what you turn them into. You really do get what you fucking deserve, and in this case, Disney deserves to lose half their audience because they gave them absolutely no reason to stick around. But you know what? Rather than signing off with some smarmy little fuck you, I want to pull something positive out of this situation because it seems like even Disney are beginning to acknowledge how badly they've done wrong. Yeah, the admission's only been forced grudgingly out of them by sheer financial necessity, but it's something at least. And never let it be said that The Drinker doesn't offer a helping hand to those in need. So if I could offer a few pieces of advice, speaking as someone of the male persuasion here, I'd say they have to come to terms with a few realities about their situation. The first reality is that not everything you make can appeal to everyone, and nor should you try. Movies like Barbie and Top Gun Maverick are proof.
I don't think there's a single thing that has ever appealed to everybody. It cannot happen. Like, it's impossible. It is actually impossible to appeal to everybody. So, you have to pick an audience. Barbie is for girls. I'm sorry. Barbie's for girls. The only guys who saw Barbie were guys who had daughters or wives or girlfriends. They're the only guys who saw it. Or gay guys, I guess. But most guys, including guys that are gay as well, don't want to watch Barbie. We want to watch Lord of the Rings. We want to watch old Star Wars. Darth Vader was fucking cool. But Barbie is not cool. And Ken, I mean, yeah. I don't think guys are thinking, wow, I would really enjoy to be Ken. No one. Because who wants to be that fucking obnoxious sim? No one.
That when you target a specific audience and give them exactly what they want without trying to dilute it down in the hopes of appealing to an even bigger market, you can and will make an absolute fortune. The second reality is that any project revolving around adventure, science fiction, action, or technology, like say, Star Wars and Marvel, is probably gonna skew male. I don't know what to tell you, man, but men and women tend to be interested in different things, and no amount of social conditioning or deconstruction is ever going to change that. And if they're your two biggest franchises that you probably want to resurrect and get profitable again, then you're going to have to accept that your primary demographic is men and cater the content accordingly. The third reality is that you need to bring back masculine heroes if you want to get a male audience back. And I'm not talking about the safe, feminized, corporate-approved Pedro Pascal brand of masculinity that's...
Bro, this guy's so strange, isn't he? Like, all of those clips of him, like, touching girls because he's nervous. Like, I'm going to be honest. There are times around girls I'm nervous. I am. That's just the way it is. But I don't go around touching them because I'm anxious. That's so weird. And on top of that, he's used in everything. Fucking hell. Everybody uses him now. Like, at some point, you have to say, we need a new actor. Because it just gets old and people get tired of the same face, constantly. And I think he had a thing to say as well about, I think it was J.K. Rowling, right? And he tried to, like, stir up some fucking argument because she is anti-trans and he's like pro-trans. It's just weird.
basically just a woman with a moustache, but the actual male archetype of masculinity that's been practically outlawed in modern media. Men who are smart, capable, assertive, confident, complex, and maybe even a bit dangerous, who don't resort to verbal diarrhea or fold like a house of cards the moment a woman challenges them on something.
Bond back.
Those are the kinds of characters that men have been drawn to for decades, and guess what? They still are. And no amount of guilt tripping or toxic masculinity bullshit is ever going to
thousands and thousands of years. Like, a warlord used to appeal to guys overall because, like, if there's a guy who can kill 10 guys, you're going to be like, okay, I want you to lead us. I want you to control this army, right? But if you have some fucking girl who's... Guys are not going to view them as a leader because they're girls, and guys want to, prefer guys in guy spaces. Like, war is for guys. I'm sorry, war is a guy thing. That's why guys have always served in war and girls have not. That's why guys tend to play games that are evolved around war, tend to watch films that are evolved around war, and they tend to draw tanks in school. Girls don't do this shit. So, I don't know.
Change that. The fourth and final reality is that everyone, men and women both, are fucking sick of girl bosses. They are, without a doubt, one of the most obnoxious products of modern culture. They've ruined practically everything they've been crowbarred into, and they have to go. That doesn't mean for 1 second that you can't have intelligent, complex, capable, and well-written female characters that push and rival their male counterparts. In fact, you absolutely should. But the days of one-sided contests where women always have to win to put men in their place, or invincible power fantasies that are either the writer's revenge fanfiction or...
Yeah, like... The way that the writers tend to write characters now is a man, but the final product is they switch it to a female. So then you've got a girl who is now a great fighter who can take on fucking trolls. Like, that's for guys. But they just change it to a girl because they're trying to be inclusive of women. But how are you including them if the story and the character itself is a male? You've just changed the character's appearance to female. This isn't appealing to men or women, because women on average are feminine, men on average are masculine. What a fucking surprise that men and women both want men to be masculine and women to be feminine. What a fucking surprise.
Walking inferiority complexes are well and truly over. Women don't relate to them, and men, particularly young men that have been force-fed a diet of this crap for most of their lives, are actively repulsed by anything that has them in it. Now, all of this stuff probably seems completely obvious and common.
Guys, I fucking hated this show. I fucking hated this show so much. I watched a couple of episodes of the first season. Bro. Like, if you've seen the OG Lord of the Rings film, like, explain to me how she is the same as the girl, as Galadriel from the OG films. They aren't even the same people. Like, she is, again, a girl boss with the writing of a male. Like, but in the OG films, she is powerful again, but she isn't a girl boss. She's compassionate. And she comes across as a kind person, even though she's insanely powerful. Like, they aren't even the same fucking character, but the writers have no fucking idea what they're doing.
sense to you, but fuck me, it feels like common sense is in short supply in Hollywood these days. But I think the big takeaway from all of this is that men as a demographic are not all that difficult to please. Treat them with a bit of respect, give them the things that they enjoy, and you'll be surprised how quickly they come around. On the other hand, ignore and attack them, and well, I think we've seen where that road leads.
Yeah, it's game over.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yeah.
The devil has come to Pennsylvania.
Well, there we have it. Yeah, he's right. Like, I said at the start, he's based. He's right. And it's like, yeah, he's completely right. Everything today is tailored towards an audience that doesn't fucking exist. And then they blame men for not tuning in to this product. As if guys want to tune into a product that is constantly telling us that they hate us. Like, it's so weird. Like, don't tell a guy he's worthless and then expect him to buy your fucking product. It's fucking dumb. And also, contrary to what the internet tries to portray, most girls also don't enjoy the idea of all guys are worthless pieces of shit, because these same girls have dads and granddads and brothers who they don't hate. So if you're telling them that all guys are worthless, in their mind, they're thinking, you're calling my dad and brother worthless, as if that's what girls want to hear. Like, this whole thing is fucking stupid.